how would somebody who wasn't linguistically or intellectually inclined approach this kind of realization? I've met a lot of people who are like that and might not be able to get this subtle.
It's true. It's true. It can be done through working with the body, too. If they encounter the right person who can do it with them, there's not a lot written down about this. Maybe some of Jean Klein's books will say a little bit about it. But one can treat the body as an object that arises to awareness. And that's pretty easy. It can be done through movement studies, movement work, a little subtle yoga. To see the body as not the place where sentience is located, but a series of objects that arise within sentience or within awareness. So that doesn't have to be very philosophical. It could just be a way of seeing and experiencing the body. And then there's the devotional paths to become thoroughly passionate about something. It could be the truth. It could be knowing one's own nature. Like, what is it that I really am? What is it that makes the world what it is? I don't think that itself is too intellectual, but the firm passion and commitment to that is a movement of the heart. And so there are the devotional paths. Sometimes it's devotion to a deity figure, sometimes it's to a human guru figure, but traditionally that carries a person who's not intellectually inclined, can go all the way.
So that would be based on like their feelings. They would feel their way.
Yeah, they feel their way. They use the body, feel like kinesthetically feel the body, or feel through the emotional corpus, the series of emotions. And what happens is that both of those, however it happens, it gets broader and broader and broader and more subtle and more subtle and more subtle. Even let's say it's a human guru figure. At first it seems like the guru figure is limited to the form of that human body. But as they get more and more and more into this teaching, it'll seem like the guru figure represents more and more and more things. And so the guru figure itself, the form, the visual form, the tactile form gets more and more subtle and more spread out. And so when it spreads out until it covers everything, then it's become everything. And of course the urge in the devotional path is to merge with the beloved. And so when you've merged with the beloved, which is everywhere, you're everywhere. And that's the non-dual sort of endpoint of that inquiry. So it can happen that way, through the feelings, both kinds of feelings, the emotional feelings and also the sensational feelings, the bodily sensations.
Did that have a place in your path, so to speak?
No, I wanted it to. There was a time when I was looking for a guru because that's what one did on these kinds of paths. And I didn't find a human that appealed to me in that way, the traditional way. I didn't find a deity figure that appealed to me in the traditional way. So for a while I was studying a wonderful text in Advaita Vedanta called the Mandukya Upanishad. And of all the Upanishads, that's the only one that doesn't require religious faith. It's the one that can be worked with on sort of dialectics and, this intellectual stuff you mentioned alone. So for a while, for a whole year, I had that on my altar. I would bow to it, light incense to it, and that would be my guru. And I would sort of imagine, the author of this was, the one who did most of the work on this was Gaudapada. He wrote the commentary on this, so I would imagine maybe a wispy figure of Gaudapada. But it was mostly the book I felt that approach to. And then after these realizations that I talked to you about, something very amazing happened that really surprised me. I went to Japan for work. I went to Kamakura, which is the seat of like medieval Japanese Buddhism, and I saw this wonderful bronze Kamakura Buddha called the Daibutsu. And for some reason, it was like 34 feet tall or something, like the largest seated metallic Buddha figure in the world. And when I saw that, I broke out down crying, and my heart opened, and I felt this real strong resonance and connection with this figure. I'd never felt it before, to any kind of figure at all. And I started like really taking up the study of Buddhism very seriously after that. This is after all these other realizations happened, and I felt a real strong resonance with that figure.